Want to know what really shocked me when I read the book of Enoch? I'm talking about the first part. This isn't Sunday school material. This is ancient, raw, unfiltered, forbidden knowledge that turns the entire origin story of the Bible on its head. You've been fed Enoch's impersonal version of the divine story. It blows the door wide open, tramples angels into the dirt, and tells you exactly why Earth has become a war zone. I'm not exaggerating. According to this book, all the collapse of the world, the violence, the corruption, the giants devouring people alive, began when a group of heavenly beings decided to descend. Not fallen, not cast down. They decided to come to Earth. The book of Enoch calls them the Watchers, or Gregories. About 200 of them secretly made a pact on a mountain. This pact wasn't about peace, it was a rebellion. Their leader is Sanjaza. Their mission is to copulate with human women. Yes, that's as blunt as it gets. These weren't symbolic metaphors or vague illusions. This was direct interspecies hybridization of angels and humans. The result, the Nephilim. And don't let anyone tell you the Nephilim were misunderstood giants or poetic figures. These creatures were monsters, gigantic, uncontrollable, and utterly deadly. The text describes them as voracious hybrids who devoured everything. When the food ran out, they turned on humans. The book of Enoch says word for word that they devoured humanity and then began to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish. This isn't just violence, it's biological pollution. It's an unnatural interference with an entire ecosystem. We're talking about creatures so out of control that they corrupted the earth down to the DNA level. This isn't mythology. It's a warning embedded in an ancient document that predates most of the canonical books of the Bible. Why do you think it was banned? Because it's too raw, too honest. This reveals a side of the divine realm no one wants to deal with. Forget your angelic bedtime stories. The Watchers didn't sing hymns on clouds. They seduced, mated, and genetically abducted the human race. That's what your angelic rebellion is all about. Let's take a closer look. These Watchers didn't just desecrate the bloodlines, they brought forbidden knowledge. Azazel, one of the main culprits, taught humanity how to forge weapons. Think about it. The angel introduced metallurgy, weapons of war, breastplates, swords. Do you know what else he taught? Cosmetics, how to decorate your eyelids. Why? To seduce, distort, manipulate. This isn't enlightenment, it's control through illusion. And it wasn't accidental. It was strategic. These angels didn't just violate divine law, they industrialized sin. They gave humanity the means to self-destruct. And this is where the dark side begins, the truly dark one. The Nephilim were never meant to exist. They were illegitimate children. So what happens when the divine realm finds out? Judgment. Cruel, surgical judgment. The book of Enoch says that God sends Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Juriel not to preach, not to convert, but to destroy them. Michael is commanded to bind Sanjaza, Gabriel to incite the Nephilim to war, so they would kill each other. That's right. Heaven's plan was merciless. It was a forced genocide of a corrupted race. You won't learn this from a Sunday sermon. You won't hear it from the pulpit, because it would explode everything. Think what this means for a pre-flood civilization so vile, so mutated, that the only way to stop it was divine orders of execution. God commands the Watchers to be bound and cast into the abyss, not metaphorically, but literally in the valleys of the earth until the day of judgment. This is the God of the Old Testament on a cosmic scale, not a shepherd, but a military commander. And that's not all. The book of Enoch says that the souls of the Nephilim didn't just die, they became evil spirits on earth. That's where demons come from. Demons aren't fallen angels. That's ecclesiastical speculation. They are the tormented, disembodied offspring of unholy unions. Half heavenly, half human, rejected by both heaven and earth, condemned to wander. Now ask yourself, why was this book removed from canon? Because it's too clear. It names names, it assigns blame. It says the angels weren't just witnesses, they were the perpetrators. It rewrites the cause of the flood, calling it a cover-up operation to reset the earth after the divine realm intervened and ruined everything. The crux of the controversy isn't just that this is a strange story, it breaks the narrative. It shows that God's wrath wasn't random, it was a response to an invasion. Not a spiritual metaphor, but a true celestial war. Earth became a battlefield, and humans found themselves at the center of a divine scandal. There's no way to sugarcoat the situation. The moment these observers descended, Earth's fate was seized. And it all started with one decision. They saw human women and couldn't resist. Azazel isn't a minor character. He's the architect of technological chaos. He brought a plan of destruction to Earth and handed it to people like candy. He taught men how to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, and weapons of war. He taught the metallurgy, how to extract metal from the earth, shape it, sharpen it, and use it to shed blood. This isn't progress, it's sabotage disguised as innovation. And he didn't stop there. He taught women to decorate their eyelids, introducing cosmetics into the world as a psychological weapon, a tool of seduction and manipulation that corrupted the natural order. Azazel brought external tools to humanity and destroyed civilization from within, teaching magic, astrology, witchcraft, and herbalism. The Watchers taught humanity distorted knowledge, leading to spiritual and physical degradation. Azazel is being punished most severely because he disseminated tools that forever altered the human timeline. God commanded Raphael to bind him and throw him into the desert, cover his face with sharp stones, and leave him there until the Last Judgment, burying him not only physically but also symbolically. Azazel became synonymous with guilt, and every sin, every weapon, every deception is attributed to him. The Son of Man in the Book of Enoch is not a luminous Jesus, not a poetic archetype, but an eternal force coming to judge, burn, and erase. He is surrounded by an army of saints, given records of every person, and no one can escape his justice. He judges angels, humans, and the spirits of the Nephilim, and no one can escape his verdict. The Book of Enoch shows that divine knowledge can be distorted, and once revealed, it can never be retrieved. The Eliades, descendants of the Nephilim, continue the lineage of destruction after the flood, institutionalizing corruption and power. They take divine desecration and build a culture upon it, creating elite lines of government obsessed with secret knowledge and cosmic power.